All right, what is up, YouTube? It is a Sweepers podcast. We're here on the first NFL episode, and I'm joined here by Andrew.
Yo,
What up, Andrew?
what's up?
We should be getting two other members later on in this episode. Jonah should be here in like 5 to 10 minutes. Casey should be here in like 10 minutes as well. But they'll just hop in wherever we're at. Um, Real quick though, let us get to know you on the football side, Andrew. What's your favorite team?
The Denver Broncos.
Okay. And let me get your mindset. You think you guys are going to be contending this year, or what's up?
Honestly, I can kind of see it given the big additions, the known ones and the not so known ones. I really do. I think this might not Super Bowl, I don't think, but playoffs for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's really we'll obviously get into it later on into the episode, but it's really deep for that AFC West.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
the Raiders are scary, Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, every single one of them.
I think
Um,
that the division is going to send three people to the playoffs. I really do.
yeah, I think both the wild card spots will be from the AFC West, which is kind of crazy.
I 100% agree that our division is just way too good.
Yeah. My favorite team is the Chiefs, so there's that. I've been a fan since Matt Castle days, so I didn't just hop on. All right. So our first little discussion, Andrew, is going to be Brady signing with Fox for a commentating job after he retires, obviously.
Big stuff there.
Yeah. I could pull up the actual contract. I think it was 10 years and something million.
Yeah, from what I remember, I think it's like 10 years, 350 mil or some shit. Because I know he's making a lot of money. Like that man, he's getting hundreds of millions for that 10-year deal. Like I was pretty shocked when I saw it.
He's in line to receive 375 million across 10 years. That is
For
only
fucking commentating.
for a broadcaster, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, he's the GOAT, but holy moly.
I it seems like to me he doesn't want to be at home, bro. Like he
I don't think he
retires,
wants to be out.
he retires and just comes back immediately. All right, Jonah. Hello, Jonah. We are recording
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
it's very I, I'm excited to hear Brady's takes on things because I want to hear his mind at work when it comes to football.
Yeah.
But also, it's like we're never gonna get rid of Brady's ass now.
Um.
All we're gonna hear is Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he'll die eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I mean, for him, it'll be like at age 200. I feel like because he ages so slow.
Oh God, he's gonna be the first like human to be 300. Like he's just gonna age slow as hell. Like
He's gonna look the exact
Father
same
Time's
at
gonna catch up.
100. Um, but yeah, this is Jonah. We are on the Brady discussion right now. Real quick though, Jonah, could you let us know your favorite team?
Uh,
You said the Chiefs. I didn't get that. Say that again for me.
yeah.
The Chiefs, yeah, bet. Yeah, bro. What we were just talking about just a little bit ago was that AFC West division is going to be really hard, bro.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they're up there. Especially, I mean, I think there's the least amount of talent in in Denver now. uh,
yeah.
I'd say though, I'd say Las Vegas has a lot of question marks along their team.
Oh yeah.
So does Kansas. So does Kansas City. Kansas City does have a lot of good pieces though. They just need to figure out how to work them all together. Um, and, yeah. Denver has a lot of good young talent. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Judy. But I mean, I think they're due for a pretty solid year.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's 7.
What's it called? The Chargers are going to be really good too. I feel like they're going to be super elite with Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I think their
Yeah,
defense is
that
pretty.
defense is going to be nasty.
Yes.
Yeah, their defense is stellar. I think with the addition of Khalil Mack and really good safety help with Derwin James.
They got J.C. Jackson.
That's true, yeah. Mr. INT himself. Yeah. Fucking, I forgot that they got him.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
they was
say that again. Sorry.
D line and do. But in terms of offense, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if, in fact, the wide receivers do get going and if their running game is pretty consistent. That's my biggest question mark with them.
Yeah. Yeah, 1,000%.
Consistency is right.
I think Justin Herbert will show that he's better than Joe Burrow because I personally have him better than Joe Burrow potential wise. I think Joe Burrow is just I don't know. I really like Joe Burrow. I think he's really good, but Justin Herbert's just I just have so much faith in that man, bro.
That's
It would
crazy.
be, yeah, it would be interesting seeing what Brandon Staley does with Herbert.
Yeah,
I think the Chargers' biggest thing is Brandon Staley and his analytical approach to football. It's not very practical.
yeah, for sure. I agree with you. I think the Raiders and the Chiefs probably have the most to prove to see how they can work out this year from the AFC West. I think the Broncos and the Chargers are probably playoff spots in my opinion.
My biggest,
All right, sorry. This is Casey. Hello, Casey.
What's up, man?
But yeah, say what you were saying, Jonah.
I think my biggest problem with the Broncos right now is how will Russell Wilson adjust to Denver, and how will Josh McDaniels do? Josh McDaniels isn't in Denver. He's in Oakland.
I wish Josh McDaniels was in Denver.
For
For
sure.
a while, I was taking a trip back to
Again.
2010. I was taking a trip back to 2010. Nathaniel Hackett. Sorry, guys. Hackett deals with that defense.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this year. I think this is going to be a real big AFC year. I think the AFC is going to be elite, in my opinion. A lot of teams have a lot to prove, but at the same time, most of those teams, for just from the looks of it, can make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I would also wouldn't sleep on the NFC West. I mean, it's still a good division. You still got Matthew Stafford in LA, and either Jimmy G or Trey Lance in San Francisco.
Kyler Murray.
I don't. Yeah, Kyler Murray. I mean, he's gonna have a good year. He's always due for a solid year. Maybe not a great year. I don't think he's a great quarterback just yet. But I don't, and I wouldn't sleep on Drew Lock having a nice year in Seattle as well because they believe in him. Yes, they're actively tanking, but I'm gonna say 8 and 9 for them.
Yeah, I can see that. I think Drew Lock is better than what he was on Denver, and maybe
I think he's generous there, 6-11.
God, I sure hope he's not better than what he was on Denver.
Well,
I think he
I
will.
think it's
I think he's
I
gonna
think
surprise us.
Pete Carroll. I think that's why. Like
That
Yeah, I
really
think
could.
he'd be
That could
better
do
in
it.
Seattle.
I could see it, bro. And he has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
Can he
Gerald,
throw to those guys? Is the question.
that's the question. Do they still have Chris Carson?
So
Uh,
what?
Do they still have Chris Carson?
I thought they did, yeah. Because didn't he just sign an extension with them?
Yeah, maybe. So they just drafted a running back too.
they did draft.
Yeah, they drafted a good running back.
Walker's the third.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker. But speaking of the AFC West, real quick, since we was talking about Jerry Jeudy, he was arrested, I think, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do we know what it was for?
Domestic violence shit, and the lady that was going for it is pushing to drop it.
She's pushing to drop it. So he
Yeah,
should
because they
she
let him out
will.
on bond, and they let him have contact with the victim, and the victim wants to drop it now.
Oh, maybe she's paying her off. But yeah,
I
I
don't know,
mean,
because that is kind of sense to me that he at first they would not let him out on bond at all.
yeah,
Then within a couple days he's out on bond, and then again within a couple days the shit's getting dropped.
John Elway's pulling some strings.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder what strings Horsemouth must be pulling.
Is he
I
gonna
call
miss any
John Elway
time?
Horsemouth.
Is he gonna miss time?
Not as much control over the team anymore. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
thank God.
Um, but our next topic, we have some transactions. I don't have this on most of you guys' notes, but I have one of them. We'll go over that one last. The Colts ended up getting Philip Lindsay yesterday. Um,
Philip Lindsay from the Cards.
yeah, they signed him. Um, I'm kind of confused on it because they have Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that move doesn't make really any sense from a logical standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird move.
Um,
They already had, like you said, like the best running back in the league last year in JT, and then Marlon Mack. I mean, Marlon might not be a superstar, but I think he's a pretty good backup.
for sure, and he's a good
Philip
starter
Lindsay
in my
makes no
opinion.
sense. He could. I think he could start too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but JT, you already know JT's different level.
Um, Also, I saw this
He
like
was bouncing around for a while.
you said what?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What's it called? The other day I saw this on Instagram Live, which kind of sucks. Tariq Cohen tore his Achilles while practicing. Um, he just last year he missed all year with a torn ACL, so
it's
kind of
just
sucks.
unlucky.
Yeah, for sure. Chicago's gonna miss him. I mean he's not the starter obviously with David Montgomery, but he's a good backup, you know.
Yeah, he's been getting in that work. He's been really trying to get back on the field, and first with the ACL, and now that Achilles was that's a really bad break.
Yeah. Um, Other two, you guys got any opinions on this matter?
Yeah. So I mean, he was a free agent coming out of last season. When he had the torn ACL, and he
Oh,
was out.
is he still a free agent now?
He was working out, trying to get signed by a team. Uh,
Oh shit! I thought he was on Chicago still.
Yeah, same to be honest. That's actually a tough break because now
yeah.
he might be done.
Yeah, that's
And go.
from what I've seen myself. Like people have said, it's career threatening. Not just like the injury, just it's on his career. Like in terms of its look.
Yeah,
People are gonna really want to take a shot after the guy just destroyed something else in his leg.
yeah. That I I really like Tariq Cohen, bro. I really did.
I do
Um,
too. That's why I hate to hear it.
yeah. But we have the last transaction that I saw. James Bradbury got cut by the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, and then he got signed by the Eagles yesterday, I think, or it was 2 days ago. Whatever, it was this week. He got signed to the Eagles. How do you guys feel about that?
Crazy.
I think that makes the Eagles defensive backs like kind of nice, to be honest. For him with Darius Slay is kind of nice.
I forget they got Darius Slay over there in Philly too. Yeah, that their fucking secondary is looking pretty minty.
Philly's defense in general is looking nice. We have their draft was amazing. We have that later on, and people I'm guessing are going to talk about it. I know one person for sure is, but Jonah, Casey, you guys have any thoughts on this Bradbury?
I think that's a pretty solid move. The Eagles, they're building something now. They like you said, they had a really good draft. They're on the come up. I think if they didn't at least compete to win the division, that'd be a disappointment of the season.
Yeah. Jonah?
I can agree with that.
All right. So yeah, I my thoughts are I agree. With Casey for sure. I think they're building something. It's gonna be nice. I think they could be one of the best in that division for sure. Because Cowboys looking a little rough. I don't think Dak will ever be a top 15 quarterback. To be honest, I just don't ever see him as that. Um,
Mm-mm.
Zeke
I'm
is
with you on
just
that one.
yeah, Zeke's just looking a little iffy. They traded Amari Cooper for pretty much nothing. I know they have two more good receivers, but I don't know.
Amari was big.
Yeah, for sure. Washington, they look kind of nice. I mean, this is Terry McLaurin's first. I want to say
But
first,
they
but
do have Carson Wentz at quarterback, though.
that's what I'm trying to say. It's his best quarterback he's been with his whole career, and he's been good without a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Scary Terry's going to have a really good year. I think the Giants are just going to be a rebuilding team. I like their defense with Kayvon Thibodeau. Um, yeah. Anyone have any more thoughts on the NFC East? I think it is right.
Yeah, I think Washington is going to be a contender this year in that division. Not in the grand scheme of things, they're not quite there yet. I think Carson Wentz has one of his best years. Best years there. Good receiving core, actually with Terry McLaurin. Um, but I think the Giants they're going to contend pretty soon. They just they need to fix their quarterback situation so bad.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think their biggest issue is that quarterback position. Daniel Jones, I don't know what they were thinking there. I don't know what Gettleman was thinking when he drafted Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Out of Duke out of the ACC. Yeah, if you're gonna draft someone out of the ACC, I'd rather be from like Clemson or Miami. Um, but I
Yeah.
think the Giants will have a winning record again. In terms of the Eagles, um, I think they easily win that division. Especially with their new big bolstered defense. They got Doug Peterson. They fired Doug Peterson like a year ago. Um, the mid 2010s.
Yeah. No.
Going, and then let's. I think they had a chance to 10 back in 2015, and they blew it. And it proves that money can't buy championships. I'll tell you that one. So I think they're on the decline right now.
Yeah. For sure. Um, yeah. I pretty much agree with all that. I think the Eagles will win it. Um, but yeah, I think Washington will for sure be scary. I like it. I like it. Um, yeah. No. Now we're on the draft topic. All right. So we got our biggest winner and our biggest loser after the draft. We're gonna start with for me, top left on the screen. It'll be Casey. Um, what's your biggest winner and why?
Yeah, I never really got to sit down and think about this, but I think it's easy to say the Eagles could be the biggest winner of the draft. I mean, they had such a good draft, just so many good picks. They probably weren't expected to have the draft that they did, but they traded up, ended up getting two picks very close to each other in the middle of the first round, and then they just kept making really good picks throughout the draft, and now they've got people opening up their eyes to them. They're like, okay, hold up, we
Yeah,
maybe we can maybe expect some good things from this team this year after a little bit of an up and down, and then when it was on the downside last year, it was pretty ugly. Hurts wasn't living up to expectations. The defense was getting lit up, and then sometimes the offense just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think they can now fix all those problems, and yeah, I think they will win the division.
Yeah.
I'll say the Eagles for the biggest winner in the draft.
Oh yeah. What you didn't cover on, they also got, I know it wasn't part of the draft, but they also got AJ Brown during the draft.
Yeah,
Which was really, really big. Let's see what Jalen Hurts could do with that.
that was a big move.
Some drafts that they got to bolster this defense that I really liked was Jordan Davis. I think he's going to be elite.
Yeah.
He looks great, and they got him with the 13th overall pick. I think it was something like that. But yeah, and then they also got Nakobe Dean.
Yep.
I don't know where he's from, but he's also a linebacker, and he looks really good. They got him in the 3rd round, so I like that a lot for him. What's your biggest loser?
Huh?
Your biggest
Yeah, what was
loser
that?
of the draft?
Well, I didn't watch the draft myself, but I have looked at things, and I think I'm going to go with KC on the Eagles being the biggest winner as well.
Okay.
I know it might sound like a repeat of him, but they just had a stellar draft. And yeah, getting AJ Brown during the draft, I'm going to count that as their draft too. That was a hell of a move.
Oh yeah.
Hell of a move. That I think that first of all put the nail in the coffin of Tennessee.
Yeah.
But second of all, that really, on top of their picks that, like KC was saying, they were just banking them off. They were just,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this one's here now. Like things were falling into their, like the stars aligned for Philly in the draft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just do winners real quick, and then we'll go round of the losers after we're done getting through everybody. Jonah, what's your winners?
Winners. I know people would say. I know we just said Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not convinced on that front. They did have a good pick in terms of Jordan Davis, and they got a good center from Nebraska.
Yeah.
But I don't, and I think it was really good bolstering the defense with Nakobe Dean and Kyron Johnson. Kyron Johnson being from Kansas, fun fact.
Oh.
It'd be interesting to see if a player from KU does anything in the NFL, and they don't do anything in the NBA. So,
I mean, you got Joel.
yeah, that's about it, Chief. But I would say my personal biggest winner would be the New York Jets. You got the hometown guy Brees. Well, for us, not for them.
Yeah.
I think Gardner was probably the best pick of the one of the best picks of the draft. I like his elusiveness. I like how fast he is. He's probably the best corner prospect coming out of the draft. I liked Trent McDuffie too. I thought that was a good pickup by the Chiefs. But I think Sauce Gardner really is going to go off. He's got a great personality, and I think he'll probably be like the next Darrelle Revis for them.
Yeah.
Then they got a wide receiver with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a great receiver. They really just bolstered up their offense. They got good pass protection. They got good receivers, good tight ends, and then they covered what they needed to in terms of the defense. I think we'll see the Jets contending not with Buffalo, but with New England in the East very soon.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I was hoping somebody would have said the Jets, because yeah, I think if not the Eagles, they're probably for sure the winner. But I might be a little biased on my pick. I was gonna go Eagles, but then you guys went Eagles, and I was gonna go Jets, but then you went Jets. So I'm gonna go top 3 maybe, in my opinion, with the Chiefs. I think they had a really underrated draft. Not a lot of people I see are talking about it, and again, it might be biased, but I really love Trent McDuffie. I think it was a steal to get him where we got him. It was kind of late in the first round. I would have expected him to go early like Sauce did. We also got George Karlaftis, whatever his name is. Um, 2 years ago, he was supposed to be first overall pick, I saw, and now we got him at the end of the first round. Um, we also got Sky Moore. I have really high potential for. Obviously, we got rid of Tyreek Hill, but Sky Moore, I think, will come in, fill that role pretty well. Obviously, he's not Tyreek Hill, but you know. And then we got that undrafted receiver, Justin Ross, I think his name is. He's going to be really good. I feel like he's going to be surprising for people because, again, a couple years ago he was best receiver in the draft class for this year, but then obviously he had some injuries and he went undrafted and we got him. So I think, yeah, the Chiefs probably have the best or top three in my opinion. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try not to. Obviously, as a Chiefs fan, I'm like, yo, this is awesome. This is a great draft. From like a non-biased, neutral standpoint, I'd probably be thinking after losing Tyreek Hill, and we just gave Ingram up. He didn't return.
Yeah.
And we lost Matthew. I'd be going, these losers are finally gonna have a bad year. But after the moves we've made, I'd be. If I was in the middle, I'd probably be starting to be like, no, they're gonna be back again.
Yeah. I think we don't have all those names, obviously, like Melvin Ingram and Tyrann Mathieu. But I think our no-name people will soon be getting a name. Like Juan Thornhill, I think
Right,
he'll be respected more than he already is.
Yeah.
Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie, I think they're going to be some amazing cornerback duos. Karlaftis, Frank Clark, and Chris Jones on the D-line is going to be elite. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's great.
I think this Chiefs team could actually do a little more than what they did on the defensive side.
Yeah. And that's what they need.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Keep going. Oh, you are.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the defense will be scary. Maybe not in terms of the interceptions. I think and probably Thornhill are going to lead the team in the interceptions. I really don't want to see Steve Spagnuolo limit Juan Thornhill like he did last year. I think that was probably one of his biggest mistakes as our defensive coordinator was letting Daniel Sorensen start over Juan Thornhill for like 5 games.
Yeah.
I cannot agree more with that.
Yeah.
That made me mad. I didn't like how Thornhill was never getting to play. I mean, Sorensen had a lot of problems, but you'd still favor him. I wanted to see more of Juan Thornhill, and I hope that this year we get to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Defensive line and the linebackers, I think it's going to be great. I think Leo Chenal is going to have an amazing year. He just looks like you look at the guy and you see power. You see a dog pretty much. I think he's gonna break through the line a lot. And you're going to see him break through the line and get a lot of sacks. So the same thing with Karlaftis. He's a big, strong guy, and I think that those 3 guys up front, can be a great combo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. I couldn't agree anymore. We'll go over our losers. I know Casey, you said you didn't really look over it as much, but do you got a loser on the top of your head that you think lost this draft?
Well, I didn't follow every team super closely, but it didn't seem like the Jaguars had the draft they should have for being the number 1 overall pick and needing to have a good draft.
Yeah.
Not sure they had the worst draft. Yeah. But not many people liked their first overall pick.
Yeah. Who was it again? I forgot. It wasn't Aiden Hutchinson.
The DT from Georgia, I forget.
Forgot his name. But, I mean, I thought he was going to go second. I didn't think he was going to go first. I agree with you. I think for being the first overall pick, they could have done more splashes like they did, like not like they did, but like the Eagles did,
Yeah.
or the Jets even. But no, I think whoever they got will be a decent piece for that team, but I don't think it'll be a game changer, you know. Um, Andrew, who's your loser?
Honestly, it was kind of between two teams. The first one I was thinking is Carolina because I don't know what the hell they were doing with that quarterback pick.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
second of all, the second loser, honestly, for me, is the Titans.
yep,
That's fair.
You know what did they do other than get rid of their best player, other than Derrick Henry? You know what I mean?
yeah. I actually have
And
something.
Definitely.
Say that again.
you
Sorry.
guys go on.
No, what was you gonna
No,
say?
but so you guys go on.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say about what they did, they drafted Malik Willis, and why I had him on one of my, I'd say top 5 biggest losers was they drafted Malik Willis, and people go to talk to Ryan Tannehill like, you gonna help him be the guy he's supposed to be? And he's like, no, that's not my job, bro. Like, I'm here to play. And it's like, bro, no, you're 34 years old, buddy. Like,
Right.
you barely throw the ball.
That's why they're a loser. Honestly, I think that the Titans are probably the biggest loser to me.
Yeah,
I'll let the Panthers. I think the Panthers are a loser in just about everyone else's eyes.
yeah,
So I think I'll give the Titans some grief here on, first of all, their mistake on getting rid of AJ Brown, and second of all, their mistake on Malik Willis.
Yeah.
I think because Tannehill's not going to be a role model. He's not going to be a teacher.
Oh, he's not. He's just being stubborn about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And for what reason? Like he's not even good. Like it's going to be on the record on this show that I hate Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that man is trash as hell since he got drafted by the Dolphins. Like he is garbage.
yeah, I don't
think he's very good.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No, and they obviously drafted another quarterback for a reason.
Yeah,
and
Right.
I think he realizes that he's in danger of losing his job soon, and they're going to move to the future, and he doesn't like that. So he's
do that.
I really like.
So he's not going to be a teacher.
I like him better than Ryan Tannehill. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
I like Malik Willis more than anyone in the draft. It might just be because he was probably, I don't know. I just feel like in the draft he was probably the best quarterback in my opinion, and I was kind of surprising to see him fall.
So you thought that Malik was better than Kenny?
Yeah, I mean Kenny Pickett's going to be good. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be absolutely stellar. Well, didn't he go to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be great there. But I think
I'm scared for that pick in the good way for Pittsburgh. Like that is scary if he develops.
If he turns into like a Big Ben but better, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like Mike Tomlin's got him another young, potentially great prospect.
Yeah.
And we know Mike Tomlin with quarterbacks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Jonah?
If Dwayne Haskins didn't die, they probably wouldn't have had to draft a quarterback, but they realized what they needed to do, and they made a nice pick.
Fully confident that with Tomlin as his coach, Haskins would have prospered.
He would have. It's sad, man.
I liked
Haskins. He had a chance to start eventually. He really did.
Yeah.
He did, bro. Like I almost bet I know that they were saying that Mason was going to probably beat him out, but I just have faith that Tomlin would be like, you know what, Dwayne, we're going to give you your chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
I really have faith, and I that's why him dying was, God, that was a kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was really sad. I knew he had a chance.
He was 24. Like, what is up with that?
And he was leaving, he was doing a morning. He was doing a morning thing with other quarterbacks, and
yeah, he was literally with other teammates and shit. Yeah, that's why it's like, what the hell?
Yeah. I'm still not sure how he got ran over, but I know he was walking.
Yeah.
But it's really sad, man. It really is.
Yeah, usually player deaths don't hit me that hard. That one kind of did because I was kind of invested in Dwayne Haskins.
For sure,
Yeah,
bro.
it's sad, man.
Again, I'm a Broncos fan, but I'd like certain players around the league, and Dwayne was one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots
for
of
sure.
potential.
Rest in peace for that man.
For sure.
Jonah, you got any losers you want to go over?
All right, and I'm gonna say Carolina Panthers. They had a good draft. I understand the confusion with the pick of Matt Corral, but I think Matt Corral was a steal. Ole Miss consistently produces great quarterbacks. Even in the SEC, they're not a big contender, but they do win. When Eli was there, but I mean they win games. They produce good quarterbacks. I think out of it, anybody like Ole Miss produces some of the best quarterbacks, other than like maybe Georgia.
Yeah.
I think about Matt Stafford. But my biggest loser, New England Patriots. What the heck are they doing?
Okay. Yeah.
I understand. I understand that Bill Belichick probably has some big scheme or plan in his mind. But in the fourth round, drafting Zappy doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you go out there and tell Mac Jones that you don't believe in him? But a two quarterback look going. I legitimately don't know what's going to happen. They needed defense. They have no names on defense other than Matthew Judon and Devin McCourty. Jabril Peppers, and hopefully he can bounce back and kind of live up to the potential that he when he was drafted and they thought he was going to have in Cleveland. But I think they were set on the defense or set on the offense with Damian Harris and Hunter Henry, even like Devontae Parker. They were set, and then they went ahead and they drafted another wide receiver with Tyquan Thornton. Help, but when they already have Trent Brown. To kind of help out with that, but I mean, they already have like Cole Strange at guard.
Yeah. I mean,
Anywho, on day one, but I don't understand. Especially they drafted like another running back. And I was like, well, you already have Damian Harris and like James White, so this doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely feel you, bro. What's it called? Yeah. Patriots were everything you said. I agree with. But I might go with my loser with you made some really good points with Carolina. But I think with the 6th overall pick, they probably could have gotten better than Ikem Ekwonu. He is really good for sure. He's a great lineman. But I think with that 6th overall pick, they probably could have gotten something else and then traded for another first or up in the second maybe. What you said about Matt Corral, I completely agree. I don't know why people are like they didn't get a quarterback, whatever, because I think Matt Corral could actually be something. I don't think he'll get the starting spot over Sam Darnold right away, but I think it'll be this year he will for sure start. But yeah, no, I just think they could have filled way more needs, and they look pretty much exactly the same as they did last year, just mediocre, Um, But yeah, anybody got any more thoughts on the draft?
I personally do not.
Alrighty. Um. All right. So out of the top 8 seeds this last year, we're going into a topic real quick, and then we'll have one more topic, and we could end it. Um. Depends on how long we take for this. I'm getting through it, and it's actually kind of nice. I'm enjoying this as of late. But um, yeah. Hold on. I forgot to mention. I have to let the comment section know. What do you guys think? Like, you guys think who do you think is the biggest winner and the loser of the draft? Let us know in the comments so we can discuss it. And yeah, so the best 8 seeds of this last year were the Titans, Chiefs, Bills, and Bengals, and then you had the Packers, Bucks, Cowboys, and Rams. Um, choose one of those teams out of the AFC and out of the NFC who you think will do the worst. So Casey, out of the Titans, Chiefs, Bills, and Bengals, who do you think will be the worst?
I'm gonna say I think the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals will have as magic of a season as they did. I don't think they'll get as far this next year, and I think a lot of that's kind of what they were saying. There's some people saying, "Oh yeah, we'll be back. They'll be back. They'll be back." They're young. They got plenty more room to grow and develop and win some championships. There's other people saying, "I don't know. That was kind of like a Cinderella year. Not sure if they'll get there again. They might have more problems next year." And I can honestly see it.
Yeah,
I can see the Bengals having a worse year.
I agree with you for sure. Um, that's not my pick, but yeah, I think 1,000% the Bengals could for sure have a worse year just because they made it to the Super Bowl. Like how can you do any better than other than winning it? Um,
Yeah.
but then out of the NFC, Packers, Buccaneers, Cowboys, and Rams, who do you think will do worse?
All right. Well, I could definitely pick from a couple teams here,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna go the non-stereotypical pick with this one. I'll say the Packers instead of the Cowboys. My
Okay.
first thought was Cowboys, but I'm gonna say the Packers because, well, they brought Aaron Rodgers back. They paid him a lot of money. They're paying one guy a lot of money. Who's he gonna throw the ball to?
Yeah.
Who's he going to throw the ball to? They lost Adams, obviously. That's the biggest. And Valdez Scantling, the Chiefs got him. He was another big weapon. He's fast.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
So I don't think the Packers are getting back to the NFC Championship this year.
Yeah, I can see that. All right,
That's
Andrew,
my pick for the NFC.
what's your picks, buddy?
Is it
What?
me?
I'm sorry.
So it's me?
Yeah, it's you.
So, my picks are easy. AFC, I'm gonna give them both to you. AFC is the Titans. I think are gonna do shit.
Yeah.
And then NFC, I'm gonna go with Dallas. I mean, I'm with KC. My two teams were Green Bay and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I still think the Packers are gonna do bad as compared to how they've been, but I think the Cowboys are they're gonna do worse. But the reason I say the Titans is we're gonna have a stubborn Ryan Tannehill at quarterback.
Yeah.
Second of all, Derrick Henry is going to be coming back off that injury because he wasn't his full prime self when he came back in the playoffs. They ain't really got no star receivers anymore. Their defense looks kind of rough. The Titans, I think their time of making the playoffs is done.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll even crack 8 wins. Maybe that's the hater of Ryan Tannehill inside me that hopes that, but I just don't see it.
I feel you. I think Derrick Henry could possibly carry him to 8 wins, but then again, if he's injured again, who knows?
There's some cracks in the armor that weren't there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have really any star receivers. I'm like, he just got hurt. They may overuse him to the point to where he gets hurt again, and then they're done if he gets hurt again. Like, for sure. Like, no hope left if he gets hurt again.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
That's why, I'm with them also with the Bengals in the sense of I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl again, first of all.
Yeah.
That was just a Cinderella story. There ain't nothing wrong with it, but I think the big dogs in the AFC are going to take control of the division again.
Yeah.
Of the conference, I mean. The Titans, I'm sour on them completely. I'm ready for the Tannehill era to end.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to end in disaster.
Yeah. It's going to go down in flames, man.
Yeah, for sure. Jonah, you got any winners and losers? Oh, I shouldn't say that. Who do you think will be the worst team? Sorry. Who do you think will be the worst team?
The winningest loser.
Yeah, we're not on that no more.
But that Cowboys, though, I will get that on him before Jonah. Sorry, Jonah, but
You're good.
I know it's stereotypical, like Casey said. I know it's everybody. I just don't believe in Prescott. I never really have. Again, that might be the hater of the Cowboy inside me, but I just don't. I've never gotten that that awe factor from watching Prescott.
Yeah.
The only awe factor I got was when he snapped his ankle in half. Ezekiel Elliott, he was crazy good, I think, in the first year or two of his career, and since then he's washed.
Yeah.
I think that Zeke is gone. Zeke, and that receiving core, I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna have a good year. I don't think Gallup's gonna play a full season. Their O line sucks ass now because they lost La'el Collins, and they lost. No, I think La'el Collins might have been the biggest O lineman they lost in the offseason. But since they lost Travis Frederick, isn't that the center that retired a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Since they lost him, shit's been going downhill for that O line. They were once, the greatest O line almost in history. Now they're, mid to low 20s.
Yeah.
And their defense, I don't like it. I don't believe that DeMarcus Lawrence is on the 10 sack level anymore. I think he's washed. I think Trayvon Diggs is all hype.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get burned a lot more this year. I don't think he's going to get 8 interceptions before people realize, just do moves on him,
Yeah.
Cut to the outside and just burn him, because he jumps on moves. He jumps the gun. He's easy to beat. And their safeties, I can't even think of a known safety that they have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, other than the only known person in their secondary is Diggs, and he's all hype to me.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the Cowboys.
Real quick, Jonah, I really like Trayvon Diggs. I really do. I mean, yeah, he is really overhyped, but I think he backs it up, in my opinion. But we obviously have to see how well he does later on in his career. Because was it that his rookie year, or was that his sophomore year?
That was
I think that was his second. Was it his rookie year?
Maybe, but
Because I thought it was his second year, but I don't know. Like at the beginning of the season, he racked up those 8 picks, and I was really impressed. But then people started to understand. I think teams were watching that film, and they were just like, "Oh, just hit him with a move."
yeah,
I mean, I think he could do better, but I just don't. He's not going to hit the level he did last year. I don't think.
Yeah, for sure. Jonah, you got something for us?
But
Let's hear it, Jonah.
yeah, I think out of the AFC, the team that's going to decline from what they had last year is definitely going to be the Titans. They have no weapons. They have a lot of questions on the quarterback side, but I mean they will get back to winning soon enough. I feel like the next draft they're going to get a lot of wide receiver help, a lot of free agency too, and then Malik Willis is gonna come in there and shine really. Pickett was the best pick out of that because I feel like he's the most NFL ready quarterback. He knows how to stay in the pocket, make good passes. Anywho, but going back to the topic, I think it's due here, but once Tannehill's gone, they get back to form. I don't really, I wouldn't say I hate Tannehill for what he said. Um, Andy Reid came out and said when Alex had to or was going through the same thing with Patrick, he was he needs to mentor him. It's not your job. Your job is to go out there and win. And
Yeah.
He went in there and he mentored Patrick to the best of his abilities, and he won the most games. Won. He made it to the AFC Championship. So
Yeah, bro.
Alex Smith's a different breed of teacher, bro.
He really is.
That man is, he's like a top 5 in terms of mentor players for me.
Yeah.
He taught Mahomes how to win. Him and Andy Reid taught Mahomes how to win.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I would like to see Alex Smith in the quarterback coach role soon.
Mm-hmm.
Same. I want to see him in the Chiefs quarterback room too. Not a Chiefs fan, but I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see him. But I mean, so yeah, I would pick the Titans to have the worst year out of all the AFC playoff contenders from last year. Out of the NFC, I think I would pick the Packers to have a decline. I think the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs again this year. When there's a lot of question marks in terms of Ezekiel Elliott. Is he going to come back? Is he going to get injured again? Will he be good? But we have to remember they still have like Tony Pollard to back him up, and Dak Prescott's not a horrible quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I think he can win games. He's like a Kyler Murray to me. But he's got CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and James Washington this year.
Yeah.
That's not wide receiver class for them, but receivers in there. And Dalton Schultz is coming back as a tight end. And then they have a good line too. And then their defense is pretty stacked. I mean, they have Malik Hooker at safety and Trayvon Diggs at corner. And then you have Micah Parsons and Leighton Vander Esch at linebacker. That's kind of scary if you look at it. And DeMarcus Lawrence, hey, let's see if he doesn't get injured. Let's see if he has a good year. But I think they'll make the playoffs again. But I think the Packers, when you look at the Packers, I feel like Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones is going to have a good year. But I think with Alan Lazard as your number one, you're going to do okay. 9. They got Sammy Watkins, but he hasn't been below. Even when he was with the Chiefs, he had good games. He had great games in there.
Yeah.
But when you look at their defense, you've got Jair Alexander. They got Jerron Reed, Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
They signed him.
Yep.
DN for them, but he never he never came out for the Chiefs, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my loser.
Yeah. No, I pretty much agree. There is some stuff that I don't agree with. I mean, okay, I'll get to my worst, I should say, for the East. Not East, AFC, sorry. I think it'll be, like they said, the Titans. Yeah, I just, pretty much everything you guys have said, the Titans just don't look like they got it this year. I'm trying to think of what receivers they have. They did draft Traylon Burks or whatever his name is in this year. He looked pretty good, but he's not obviously AJ Brown. I don't think he can be for the next couple years. Maybe in like 3 years he'll be there, but I don't know. Fuck, my throat's hurting. But yeah, no, we for the NFC side, I don't think it's the Packers, and I'll tell you why real quick. God, I think the Packers will still be up there. Aaron Rodgers, I don't like Aaron Rodgers at all, but he's amazing, And if anyone could do it, I think it's him or Brady. I think them two could probably lead a terrible team, terrible receiving core, I should say, to whatever they need to. I don't think they'll make it to the Super Bowl, maybe not even the championship. But, I think the Packers could still do something. They got Christian Watson. People didn't really like that, but I think it was an underrated pick for him. I think he could actually be something. But yeah, no, my worst team in the NFC, I think, will be probably the Rams. I'm just gonna do a little bailout. I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl again. Maybe not even the championship. I think. Well, I mean, the NFC isn't as stacked as the AFC, obviously, but I just don't think they'll make the Super Bowl again. I think it's Brady's time to make it back. But yeah, that's my picks. Anybody got any thoughts?
None that I can think of.
No. All right. Well, we'll move into our last topic, and it is our top 10 QB of all time. How do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to say our 5, or do you guys want to say 10 all right off the bat, or what?
I wouldn't be against the all 10 just off the bat.
Okay, bet. We'll just do our same way we've been going. Casey, you want to give us your top 10 QBs of all time? If you haven't made a list, it's all good. Just give us what you can.
I didn't get to a list, but you can think of.
Yeah.
You think of QBs like I would have Terry Bradshaw in there. Obviously, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. And as much as a lot of people would hate to say it, and you hate to admit it, but you got to put Tom Brady at number 1.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, I mean, who else is it going to be?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd probably throw Eli Manning in there because he was the man that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl not once but twice.
Yeah.
He's got 2 rings. The last of his career, lots of people talked bad about that, but he was just washed at that point.
Yeah.
You gotta remember him for his earlier times. That's what really makes his career.
Yeah.
I'd put him in there. Rodgers is in there. He's got 1 ring, but it's usually the rest of the team letting him down rather than him letting himself down.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of time. Like, if he should have more than 1 ring, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And for the most part, it's not his fault. Yeah. Can I think of any more? Dan Marino's in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't think of a particular order right now. I mean, obviously Tom Brady's number 1.
Yeah, no, you're good, bro. If you can't think,
I'm tempted to say Patrick Mahomes already, just because we know how he's going to keep going.
Yeah,
he's already accomplished so much.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think I could even put him in there because eventually you're going to look at a top 10 quarterbacks of all time on a list 10 years from now, and there's no way Mahomes isn't toward the top of it, probably. So,
yeah. Real quick, Andrew, you got a debate you want to say?
I don't know. I think we're jumping the gun a little bit on Mahomes.
Okay.
He's great, Don't get me wrong. But all time top. Think about all the guys that you're jipping that spot on the list. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see your other. I think 5 picks, but I think Mahomes is just a little too early. Yeah, he went to 2 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And yeah, he won one, but I don't know. I think we're just jumping the gun on this Mahomes thing a little bit.
All right. All right. Casey, can you think of any more?
Let's see. I think that's all I got right now.
You got? All right. Andrew, you want to say your top 10?
Yeah. Obviously Brady's in there. Peyton Manning. I think I've got an order. Like, I don't have a list made, but this is just off the top of my head. Brady, Peyton, Montana at 3. I'd almost God. No. Yeah, I'll go Steve Young at 4. Call me crazy, but I loved Steve Young.
Yeah.
5, I'm gonna go Drew Brees. 6, I'm gonna go Rodgers. Again, the one ring, you would think, damn, it's kind of high, but talent-wise, the man's the greatest talent to ever throw a football, other than potentially Mahomes. Potentially.
Yeah.
I'm at what, 7 7?
Yeah, I think so.
God, this is where it gets a little choppy for me.
Yeah.
I think Dan Marino's a guy that he's not on my list.
Okay.
No, he's not top 10.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because I literally had people. I was thinking about a couple people. Literally, God, what is his name? Bradshaw's not a bad one, because Bradshaw was a Cowboy, was he not?
If I'm not mistaken.
Another one that
Steeler.
it might sound a little crazy, but Eli. I think I might throw Eli in at 7.
Yeah, he was for the Steelers. Never mind.
That beating Brady twice in the Super Bowl is a really big deal.
Yeah.
It is. It's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 8, I'm just trying to. I know I'm drawing a blank. I don't know why. So I got Brady, Peyton, and all them. Again, Mahomes. You would almost put him in here, but I just I think it's a little too soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who was after. Oh, Troy Aikman. That'll be my number 8.
Okay.
I know a lot of people say that, all he's got is titles and I think he was just a really good field general quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he really set the standard for field general quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Along with, obviously, like Peyton Manning and Brady, they made it to where it's not all about,
Yeah.
what you call it, your arm, but so I'm at 9, number 9. That, it might seem a little crazy also, but throw in my man, what's his name? There it is, Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
Early prime Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
You already know that big bastard was unstoppable. I hated him in his later years because he was just trash.
Yeah.
But my number 10. This is another one where I was really debating it on a couple people because I'm I'm gonna go with Terry Bradshaw as 10.
Yeah.
I leave off Brett Favre and Elway are a couple notable ones, and I don't know. The turnovers for Brett Favre turns me off,
Yeah.
and John Elway, all the failures in the playoffs turns me off too, like in the Super Bowl in specific.
Okay. Yeah. Jonah, you got your top 10?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna start off with a couple honorable mentions. I had John Elway on this list, but then I pulled an audible literally like 10 minutes ago. I took John Elway off the list. Yeah, like Andrew said, like just the failures in the playoffs. He's just underwhelming in terms of statistics. He was always like second team All Pro. He never made any first teams. Um, he won MVP once, and good. My honorable mention is Drew Brees. Love the guy, great guy, Drew Brees, but he's just not going to make the cut. Out. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Lead that team. So anyway, going into that, for me is Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback, great passer. The thing that turns me off and like why he's number 10 is the one ring. 4-time MVP. Obviously, you can't deny this guy's greatness.
Yeah.
At Terry Bradshaw, champion, 2-time MVP, won the MVP, was a first-team All-Pro. His statistics are a little. He had 212 touchdowns, but 210 interceptions, which is a little bit of a red flag to me. But he's still you can't deny those Super Bowl championships from him. So that's why Terry Bradshaw's number 9 for me. Mark Starr, quarterback for the Packers in the 60s. He won championships from 61 to 67, and then he won Super Bowl 1 and Super Bowl 2. Super Bowl 1 being against the Chiefs. For his touchdowns, but obviously back in the day, that was a lot of touchdowns. But yeah, he was like the first Packer to really be led Vince Lombardi's team to give Vince Lombardi the reputation that he has today. So yeah, Bart Starr number 8. Number 7, I got Roger Staubach.
Okay.
Was the reason that the Cowboys are called America's team. He served 4 years in the Navy for Super Bowls with the Cowboys and Pro Bowler. Led the NFL in passing about 4 times. And not only and a great quarterback, passing 4 times. It's just an astonishing accomplishment, and he is one of the only NFL players to have a Presidential Medal of Freedom. He was a lieutenant in the Navy. Number 6, I got Brett Favre. Brett Favre is so high for me. Always consistently good. He made every team that he was on look better, and like even when he was on the Jets, he made them look better.
Yeah.
Won 3 MVPs. He won a Super Bowl. I'm kind of turned off to the fact that he only had 1 Super Bowl ring, but he really up to being the passing first league today. those explosive offenses. And his swagger, it's just he's created a great legacy for himself.
Yeah.
Dan Marino,
Okay.
really, this guy is a great quarterback. 420 touchdowns in his career. One of the first to do that. He and Brett Favre both just led in a great offensive league. 9 Pro Bowls, led the NFL in passing 5 times. Really tragic that he never won a championship. They're for the Dolphins. So Dan Marino, number 5. Number 4, I got Johnny Unitas. Played for the Colts and the Chargers. 56 to 73. He won a Super Bowl. He was he won 4 rings. Won Super Bowl, 3-time NFL champion. He won the MVP 3 times. He was a first team All Pro 5 times.
Yeah.
First quarterbacks to really go off in the NFL. Number 4, Johnny Unitas. Number 3, going to shock some people, Tom Brady.
What?
3 for me.
Did you say Brady at 3?
Yep.
Wow.
You better have a good reason.
When I'm ranking the list of the top 10 quarterbacks, first thing I have to think of is, who is this person? I think that Tom Brady is a horrible person. I really do.
Okay.
I'm just giving a heads up. If Mahomes is your number 1, I might leave the call, dog. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I might be leaving this episode early.
How good Tom Brady is. Okay. Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time MVP. Let's go on it with Tom Brady. For 3, he's high on the list. He's a great quarterback. He has a good legacy on the field, off the field. You know, you got Deflategate, you got Spygate. Look at it. Even when Tom Brady was performing good, if you look at Tom Brady's statistics through the first 3 quarters of every single game that he's played, it's kind of underwhelming. I mean, he's a 4th quarter guy. And his statistics are just kind of underwhelming for me. I don't know. He's played for a really long time, 20 years. Touchdowns, but he's a good quarterback. But I just don't. I think Patrick Mahomes is more talented than Tom Brady. I just think that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady had a better chemistry and created better teams than Andy Reid and Mahomes have right now. Can't get past the issues he's had in terms of cheating and his lack of production without some of his key players. Like, you could see, like, it was Tampa Bay career. You can see he's performing the way he was. I think he's going to fall down this list the longer he plays.
Okay.
He's at number 3. Number 2, I got Peyton Manning. This guy was one of the first quarterbacks that I ever VP, 2-time Super Bowl champion, led teams that you wouldn't have thought won a Super Bowl. Like the Colts. The Colts, they were bottom feeders. Like, Peyton's rookie season, I think they went like 2-14. Like,
yeah,
3-13. They went 3-13. And then he brought them through the mud. He drugged them through the mud all the way up to 14-2. He was done at Indy.
Yeah.
Like, you look at Denver's 2012 season or 2011 season. Yeah, they made the playoffs. Yeah, they beat the Steelers. Great, amazing. Peyton comes in. Takes him to the playoffs again. He doesn't win that season, but then the next season he goes takes them to the AFC Championship, and then 2 seasons later they win a Super Bowl. Like that wasn't supposed to happen. I mean, kudos to John Elway for building that team, but I mean, none of these championships happened without Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
14-time Pro Bowler, 7-time All Pro, first team All Pro, 5-time MVP. This guy is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Peyton Manning number 2. Number 1, I got Patrick. Well, no, Joe Montana.
Okay.
Another Chiefs quarterback. Another Chiefs quarterback, but it's Joe Montana. 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time MVP, 4-time Super Bowl champion. This guy transformed the position of quarterback. Someone thinks of like if you just say best quarterback of all time and you ask somebody who's over like the age of like 10, no, sorry, over the age of like 30, they'll say Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Which is like really impressive for those times.
Yeah.
I think he took him to the playoffs. I think that was their last playoff one was with Joe Montana. Before that big drought. The 75th anniversary all-time team, 100th anniversary all-time team. This guy made 2 all-time teams. Like,
yeah.
And he always led the league in completion percentage, passer rating, passing touchdown, passing yards. For about 15 years. Won Joe Montana.
Okay.
Oh, an honorable mention, Patrick Mahomes. You can't deny that this kid's greatness. He's one of the best passers that I've ever seen in my life. He is the best passer I've seen in my entire life. He's going to be number 1 on this list someday. Give it like 10 years.
Yeah.
I just got to go on record to say I'm glad that he didn't make your list at all. Not because I'm a Mahomes hater, but I'm glad to see that one of his biggest supporters is a realist.
Yeah.
He's not a top 10 all-time QB right now. Of course, Pat has the complete potential to be the greatest ever.
Yeah.
But he's just not. I don't know. I'm just a strong believer that everybody that's saying that, oh, he's the baby goat or, oh, he's in the quit jumping the gun. Let him do it, and then we'll say that.
Yeah.
Even, I guess, people even say that last season was his worst season of his career. When you look at it on paper, it actually wasn't. He just didn't perform in the big spots like he did. In 2019, he played like 14 games because he got injured. And his passing numbers were down. But, I mean, this is the most interceptions he's had in the year. But, I mean, still his passer rating is, I think. So, I mean, I don't think it was the worst year of his career by any means. I think he just...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm gonna say real quick though that I do not like going behind Jonah, so this will not happen again because this man is a straight up. I don't know. It's just like my list is terrible compared to his. We'll have this man go first now. But no, my top 10, I have. It's pretty much like my top 3 are pretty much. I'd say my top 5 are pretty much safe as top 5 for probably next couple of years, I'd say, unless something big happens. But like then I have, I'd say about 13. I want to say 13, like probably 6 more names after that 5 that can be switched around. So where I have them isn't necessarily where it is. But yeah, my 5 through whatever is you got Mahomes in there, you got Favre in there, you got Rodgers. This is in no order, by the way. Rodgers, Elway, Marino, and then you guys like. So here's how my list goes. It's I have to watch him play, or I have to seen of highlights and a lot of gameplay of him. That's why Marino's on here. Elway, Favre. I've seen a lot of them. Mahomes and Rodgers. They're just. I get what you're saying, Andrew, but as right now, I think if Mahomes retired this year today, I think he could be in the top 13. I'm not necessarily saying top 10, but top 13 is logical for me. Um, but then you got people that I didn't really watch any gameplay of, but you guys have said and brought me to my mind, like Steve Young, Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, Johnny Unitas, people like that. I never really watched much much of their gameplay at all. But they're still greats. But in my top five, I have from five Eli Manning, because he's legit the kryptonite to the Superman. You throw him in the Super Bowl, even at age 70, he's going to beat Tom Brady, no matter what. Um, then you got Drew Brees in there, number four. I grew up watching Drew Brees legit every single day of my life, every single week of my life, I should say. Drew Brees was there. Um, to me, it feels like he really rarely got injured, but at the same time, if I think about it, he has been injured at sometimes. But he's just such a great quarterback, in my opinion. I think whenever he was wasn't he? Yeah, I think he was on the Chargers, wasn't he? And then he did,
Yep.
yeah. So he didn't do terrible. I don't think they won a ring there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think so. But he went to New
Well, I just know that
Orleans.
they were looking at Phillip Rivers, and that's why they got rid of
Yeah,
Breeze.
but yeah, no, Breeze. He went to New Orleans and he changed it. He made people who they were. Um,
Mhm.
like Mark Ingram, I feel like yeah, he's good, but he was really good with Drew Brees. Jimmy Graham, really good with Drew Brees. I can't think of any receivers that they had at the time, but even what's his face, the guy that they have right now, I forgot his name, Slant Boy. Drew Brees made him
Michael
into
Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Drew Brees made him into him. um,
I love that you called him Slant Boy.
what's it called? And then you have three. I have Joe Montana. Um, like Jonah said, if you ask anybody over the age of 30, he's the GOAT. I've seen a lot of them. I actually have a jersey. I don't personally have a jersey, but there's a jersey in my house. My dad has it, you know. So it's pretty cool. Um, Peyton Manning is that too. So yeah, I like with Drew Brees. I grew up watching him. He's he's pretty much goated in my opinion. You can't do no wrong with Peyton Manning. He has the best commercials you could ever think of. Um, and yeah, for the Broncos, yeah, I hate the Broncos, and I hated Peyton Manning when he was on the Broncos. But the moment he retired, he jumped into the number two spot. Um, I respect that man so much, and yeah, I hated him more than I hated Tom Brady growing up, and that's saying something because Tom Brady is number one. Um, he's like LeBron in my opinion. He's all around the goat. You can't say nothing or do nothing can happen for him to not be the goat. Um, unless obviously he kills like 40 kids. I don't know, but but yeah, Brady's number one. That's pretty much my list. It's a little disoriented, but my top five is
Oh no,
pretty.
man! Brady keeps tongue kissing his son on the mouth. He might not be a number one anymore.
Yeah, Peyton Manning don't do that.
I'm gonna say Peyton. He just like you said makes the greatest commercials ever, and Brady's over here Frenching his son. I'm like,
God.
what the hell?
Um, but yeah, no,
It's like
that's
that's your goat.
on God.
For real.
No, that's the episode. Y'all got anything else to say real quick to get off your chest?
Mahomes is not a top 10 quarterback.
Okay,
Not yet.
okay. Anything for you, Casey?
I don't really got anything. I mean, I could see the argument to why Mahomes isn't quite top 10 yet.
Yeah, I can too for sure. But
Broncos poverty franchise.
he said what? Broncos is a poverty franchise?
Yeah.
Broncos.
All right.
Broncos.
All right.
Broncos, what happened?
What happened? TikTok everywhere. He's saying it to every team. He's saying it to every team. But nah, that's the end of this episode. So I appreciate everyone watching, everything like that. Tune in to next week. We probably will not have it on Thursday. When do you guys want to do next episode? Do you guys want to do it on Fridays, or do you guys want to do it on which days do you guys feel like doing it on?
I don't really have a known date to me that it would work, so I'm gonna go off of you guys.
Same.
Casey, you got a certain day that you'd like to do it on, or?
I think, things just kind of come up for me. The weekends would probably not be a great time. I think Wednesday is like a good day.
Wednesdays? Wednesday work for you guys?
I can fuck with Wednesday.
All right, we'll probably do Wednesday same time then, like 10, 11, something like that.
Sounds good to me.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks you guys for showing up, for sure.
Of course, of course.